Imagine you're in a room with me, and we're going back and forth. You tell me about your day. I ask you about your hobbies, your friends, and your favorite foods, and while we're talking, I shuffle a deck of cards. Much bigger than a regular deck of cards, you notice that. You tell me that you like painting. You used to love hanging out with your friends, but now you don't really have the time. You tell me that your favorite food is steak. You like it pink in the middle with mashed potatoes on the side. I keep shuffling while you talk to me. I ask you about your parents. I ask you, how have you been recently? How are your parents? The back and forth starts getting slower, and you go, "Oh, I've been good. Yeah, no, I've been great. My parents are fine." You're looking down, and you're looking everywhere but me. I spread the cards out in front of you face down, and I go, "Pick four that really call out to you." You pick your four, and I lay them out. The first thing you notice is the artwork. It's so incredibly detailed. Your first card showed a person standing alone with a big dark coat on. The second was of two kids surrounded by flowers. The third was of a lady tied up and surrounded with swords. And the last was of a chalice sitting on the palm of a hand with the words Ace of Cups on the bottom of the card. Tarot cards get a weird and conflicting reputation in that nobody really knows much about them. Sure, you'll hear about them in movies and in shows with some crazy person shown to have an innate ability to see into your future. They shuffle some cards and look really cool while doing it. For some people, they can be super cool, and for others, they can seem really scary. This is because some people, namely very traditional Christians, associate tarot cards with occult practices, satanic rituals, and even refer to the tarot as the Book of the Devil. But what's super interesting to me is that the tarot was originally created to be a picture book used for playing games, usually games that involved gambling, but was generally used as a form of fun, mental stimulation, and leisure activity. Today, tarot cards are mainly used for cartomancy, which is fortune telling using a deck of cards, but that's not its only use. Tarot cards are used as psychotherapy treatment, not as a way to tell your future or anything, but instead very similar to the way that inkblot tests are used. Tarot cards are an excellent therapy and mental wellness tool despite their reputation of being used for occult practices and their religious implications. Tarot cards provide people with a fresh perspective and a neutral environment to talk about their issues, with less invasive questions, instead giving them an opportunity to open up about themselves. Psychiatrist Carl Jung, founder of analytical psychology, thought that tarot cards were a great way to express shared experiences of mankind, like strength, ambition, passion. Tarot cards and their psychological applications supported his own theory of the collective unconscious, that we're interconnected with these shared experiences and use them to give meaning to the world. Jungian School of Psychology uses tarot to facilitate individualism, in turn giving the patient a feeling of empowerment by being seen through a process of reading cards and deriving deep personal meaning from them. Let's go back to our scenario. You look at your cards: the lonely lady, the two children, the tied up lady, and the cup. Now, this is actually a very interesting spread because this first card indicates some form of regret that you're holding on to. The second card indicates that you often find yourself revisiting the past in a gentle, bittersweet way. Followed by the third card, which shows negative thoughts and being restricted by yourself and feeling like you're not allowed to do certain things, self-imposed barriers. Lastly, there's a glint of hope in your life, a new relationship with real potential to make you happy and opening you up to love. The back and forth happens again. You start to feel yourself become more calm and reflective of your situation. You tell me about how you used to fight with your parents a lot when you were younger, and it's hard to rekindle that relationship now that you're an adult. Readings give a general and neutral environment to talk about what's on the client's mind. According to the Canadian Journal of Sociology, tarot cards utilized in psychology of patients with childhood trauma helps rework toxic socialization, particularly those in dysfunctional families with the need for deep reflection. Our scene is just one example of a tarot card reading execution that helped you, the client, open up about your feelings. Ina Sametsky, chief consultant to the Institute for Edusemiotic Studies, describes this process of clients choosing their own cards. Once they feel that the card's symbolism represents their situation, The therapist can access deep levels of meaning in the collective memory pool of the patient for the purposes of spiritual work. Having this illusion of divination and magic makes the client feel as if it's a spread that's chosen for them specifically. The meaning of the spread to the client helps them internalize their own reflective thoughts. If they get a card they feel is relevant to them, they feel special, they feel empowered, they feel connected to the cards that they choose. Every card in the deck of tarot is so general, anyone can and will connect to its themes. In our scenario, the first card you chose is meant to be a symbol for regret, a very general theme that everyone can relate to. However, followed by the second card about revisiting the past, you formed a connection with this idea of a regretful past. And now you're reflecting, which furthers your connection to the spread and makes you think, you're so right, that's what I feel. I'm helping you verbalize feelings that you weren't comfortable or able to verbalize before. Tarot cards are a wonderful tool for mental health and don't have to be practiced in a creepy candlelit room. Tarot in psychology is a great way to empower the client and encourage reflection. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.